So guys, I have this 2010 370Z, last tune June 29th of this year by another tuner in San Fernando Valley. What's up guys, I have this 2010 370Z supercharged. The owner of this car, he did tell me he watches my videos. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for coming over. This car again is currently tuned by somebody else in the San Fernando Valley. This one's a little weird because I know that this specific tuner, they can get the car running and you know you can go full throttle with no problems. Usually they're very conservative, but this one has issues, and supposedly on 91 it made 390 wheel horsepower over there. It is on 6 pounds on the Stone supercharger, but he is losing to Stingrays, which should make slightly less power, or should make less power than that for sure, stock ones. So obviously there's a problem somewhere. I started retuning it and started asking them questions. There's some weird things going on. I'm not going to go into detail because everything's a little bit confusing. One of the things is they replaced the map sensor on there, which is perfectly fine. They upgraded it. So they could still use this one, but it's not the correct, it's hard to explain. So basically this sensor that they use would only be useful to read the boost. He needs another one that comes with the harness, which is the one he got today. So it's correct, but this one's correct but not correct, so we put the correct one on there. So this one again supposedly made 390 wheel over there. Over here the 390, it was basically 320, and that is not correct, so something is wrong. So I was able to retune it to 350 here. So of course, once again, if you're just tuning into my channel, this dyno reads lower. So the 350 here on 6 pounds on this car, still a little bit on the low side. So I feel like this engine was already hurt. So he did purchase the car like this with the supercharger on there. So either it was already like that, or maybe it was caused by the other tune. I'm not too sure. But for sure on 91, yeah, he's gonna feel a big difference, very, very big difference. But he's also going on 85. So we just finished the 91 tune, 350 wheel, and we're putting in the 85 right now. All right, so I went ahead and did first pull on 85, actually the second pull. First pull, I needed to make major adjustments. After that, then second pull, we are at 368 wheel horsepower, and I lit off at 6,000 RPM. What's up guys, I have this 08 G37 6-speed, very nice. This one is currently tuned by somebody else from another state. It originally was tuned on 91. They just wanted to go ahead and switch to me, and I cannot do a baseline pull comparison because he's changing injectors and going E85, so obviously that's not fair. The numbers would be completely different. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tuning this. This has 3 inch intakes, the UPT. It has supposedly GTR 550cc injectors, single exit exhaust, and on E85. Alright guys, so the G37 08, the 6-speed, obviously this is not it. Very happy. He's very happy. He said that is way more responsive. So of course, I mean, he went 85, but you could tell that he's just happy to switch over to me. On that one, he doesn't want the numbers being told. And then this is another one right after.
I gotta sell some cars, man.
Making him load his own car while I wait in the AC. I still love you though. Damn, thick. Guys, I have this very nice 2013 G37 IPL 6-speed. Very beautiful. My log right there. Don't copy my tunes, please. It's really Corey. He's so cute. I just want to kiss you. I know you watch my videos. So we have this car here that I originally tuned. Then he went to another tuner because he had a setup that I didn't want to do because I told him it's not good, blah blah blah. And then I told him, you just, you know, you can go somewhere else. And he did, which is fine. And well, the other tuner, well, they definitely know what they're doing. So that's why I told him, yeah, you should definitely go to him. The only thing is the kit he had before was not efficient. So obviously I already knew that. I already mentioned that to you guys right now. So he went with the other tuner to turn up the boost. They did 20 pounds. And this guy right here, he raced a 370Z that I tuned at, I believe, 11 or 12 pounds right now by today's date, because originally I did tune it on 6 pounds. Now it's doing about 11-12 pounds. So 11 to 12 pounds on the 370Z that I tuned versus this car that was at 20 pounds tuned by somebody else, and the 370Z I tuned beat him. So obviously that doesn't make any sense. So I kind of already figured. So I checked the logs on this car. He sent me the logs that he has sent to his tuner when they were tuning. He sent me the latest ones. He sent me a fresh one, and there was actually nothing wrong with it. That's just as I expected, because I know that tuner here in Cali, up north, they definitely know what they're doing. But you know, that obviously doesn't make sense. 11-12 pounds versus 20 pounds. But like I said, I already expected that to happen. So I just wanted to see the logs, and everything honestly looked great. If anything, I could have probably gotten 10 to 15 wheel more horsepower out of it at the most on this one, but it's still not enough to beat the other car that I tuned. So it's just the turbo kit is not efficient, so it had nothing to do with the tuner. So that tuner definitely knows what they're doing. It is actually the fault of the kit. It's not designed correctly and whatever, all yada yada yada. So anyways, now he went with the mid-mount kit, and we, so far, well, I let off early. I let off at 5,500 RPM. We're at 10 pounds. This one should be doing about 12 pounds as well, maybe 13. We did want to do more because this motor is built, but he cannot find the spring. So when he was doing 20 pounds, it was a different kit. So that those wastegates and springs he sold with the kit. So this one came with its own set of wastegates. Obviously it's a different kit, its own springs, and I guess he couldn't find the springs to put more in there. So we're stuck at about what we think is going to do 12-13 pounds. I'm hoping it does 14. I'm not too sure. Once I fix the rest of the tune, We're gonna see what it can do. So this is the red line, is the very first pull I did. I let off, needed a lot of fixing to do. This one obviously still not good, but I was able to take it up higher, basically 5,500 RPM. Very hot today, about 104 degrees inside here. Alright guys, so I'm back in my G37 with the AC on while he unloads his car off the dyno. So in the end is actually doing 10.5 PSI. Mid-mount kit E85. Final numbers today are 483 wheel horsepower and 493 torque. Did I tell you guys I'm in the AC while he's loading his car off the dyno, unloading it? The dyno computer said it was 104 degrees inside, so pretty hot in there. So I don't see any issues anywhere, motor-wise or tune-wise. Of course, not tune-wise. I'm the one tuning it. It's 101% perfect. We have plenty of fuel left. Of course, it has a fuel system, custom fuel system by George. Those are honestly the best ones. Yes, 1300 IDX injectors, so injector dynamics. The only thing is, like I said earlier, he just didn't have the springs to have more boost on there. There's no boost controller, so it's just whatever the springs are doing, the wastegates, you know. So he already ordered the springs and he's gonna wait for them to come in, and he's gonna reschedule next month to turn up the boost. We're gonna try and do roughly about 17 or 18 pounds and see what it makes on there. Other than that, that's it for this one, and I'm sure he's gonna be very happy. What exhaust is it? Is it a Tomei? It's not Tomei, huh? It looks too small.
I didn't want to put it.
Right.
I'm fucking nicer for this car.
I'm at 370, keep it.
Alright. Guys, I have Freshhkiicks 2004 S2000. It's all stock. It only has a muffler on it, a fake Tomei. VTEC? Look at that VTEC! Well, it's already heat soaking. It is 105 in here. Guys, let's get ready for some VTEC. Too hot already. But that's it for this one.
Fucking genius. He sneezed and fucking went away.
What's up, guys? I have this 2014 Q50. It is currently tuned by somebody else. They just got it tuned last week on 8/12. Today's 8/21. Today's Monday. So again, they just got a tune last week. Someone flew in from another state to do a dyno day on the weekend here in the IE. The owner of the car is saying the car drives funny, and there's from getting into fourth gear, so third to fourth, the transmission acts funny. It does have a check engine light. Now, I believe that the check engine light has nothing to do with the tuner. I did not scan it, but I did ask one of the guys if they had scanned it, and they said yes. They told me the code. So far that does not seem to be tune related. However, again, the owner just got a tune last week, and he said right after the tune he started having issues with his car, that it drives funny, and the transmission issue. He said it did not do that before the tune. So one of the guys here test drove it. He said it doesn't really feel anything funny, so I'm gonna drive it myself and see what's going on, because sometimes, you know, since I'm just used to this retuning people's cars from other tuners, I kind of already know how to make the issue happen or how it happens. Or that if I don't feel anything or see anything, I'm gonna go ahead and have to give him a call. It could be all in his head or not. So obviously he said right after the tune, so that's not a good sign. But I'm gonna go ahead and check this out, and if we don't see anything, then I'm gonna tell George to tell him, you know, hey, we don't really see anything, you know, maybe it's all in your head. But usually there is issues from other tuners, or what I'm guessing is maybe it hesitates. It's hesitating when you're driving. So that's what I'm assuming without me actually driving it yet. I just moved it from the parking lot to out here. All right, so I took it on a test drive. The transmission, it barely feels like there's a small issue. It's to the point where I would say most people wouldn't notice. So maybe this guy is really picky on his stuff, which is completely fine, because obviously if I'm saying that it's not correct, then it's not correct. So that most likely, assuming nothing's wrong with the transmission, which I feel that there's not at this time, without me actually trying to tune it, then that could be possibly fixed through tuning with me. I feel like I need to contact him and ask him some questions, because I didn't feel any hesitation, but I do see some issues in this car with the fueling when they were tuning the fuel side of the ECU. So I just need to ask the owner some questions to confirm. So it's possible maybe after driving for a certain period of time, then he starts to feel whatever he's feeling with the car. So that would be fixed with the tune. These are stock injectors, so obviously there should not be any issues, especially since this guy did say he had no issues before the tune. So I see a major issue with the fueling. Basically, yes, that would be the answer. That would be what I saw. So I just need to call him and ask him more questions. Sometimes when you guys come here and you tell whoever helps you out, you tell them certain info, and then when I call you, you tell me the same info, but you add more details, and sometimes that helps me out. So this most likely is a fueling issue with the tune and the transmission tune. All right, so I just got off the phone with this guy here. He did tell me the issues that I had talked about. One of them that I did not know about was when he comes to stop, he says the downshift's pretty harsh. That I actually could not duplicate, but he told me he does it all the time. Maybe it just takes longer to drive. So I couldn't duplicate it. So once I go ahead and tune it, because I am retuning it, he said to go ahead and do it. I guess he's gonna have to be the one to let me know on that. All right, so I already put a tune in here from myself that I made right now. 3-inch intake, stock injectors, it has exhaust. When I went on a test drive, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, it felt very laggy. I forgot to ask him if he felt that as well, the owner, but the other person, the other guy who drove it, the tech, he mentioned that first, actually, to me after I came back from the first test drive. He said that it just feels like sluggish, and then it picks up like after like 6,000 RPM. I told him the same thing. I was like, hey, yeah, that's what I felt. It feels pretty sluggish. So right now it's actually idling better, and I'm gonna go ahead and test drive it and start tuning it. But I'm gonna go to lunch. My G37's parked out there. I'm gonna go to lunch with Jesse. Alright guys, so I just finished the street tune on this car right here. The cruising drivability is better. I don't have any transmission issues. Actually, it shifts better and downshifts better now that I tuned it. Even though with the other tune I didn't really see any issues, but with me tuning it, putting obviously my tune on there, I can actually feel the difference now. But like I said, with the other tune, as of when I was test driving it with the other person's tune, I couldn't duplicate the problem that it had. So I can actually feel the difference now with my tune on everything. So now I need the owner to come and just, I guess, test drive it and see if it does what he said. But it didn't happen to me, other than the fuel issues that I saw with the other person's tune. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but when I was on the phone with him, he said it struggled to start sometimes. He said it's acting like it was on E85, which it's not, because it's in stock injectors on 91 fuel. When I started it the first time, honestly, I didn't notice that at all. Could just be a coincidence. So it seems like the issues he was telling us, we were not able to duplicate. But when I was logging the other person's tune, I did see issues through data logging. So now the car actually runs and drives better. It's not laggy anymore. It's way more responsive, which is usually what people tell me when they come to me for a retune once they're tuned by somebody else first, that it's more responsive sometimes. I just got a lot of feedback from you guys, and but anyways, so that's it for this one. I'm gonna give them a call and we'll see if the transmission issues went away completely, or just the tranny is already messed up. Maybe the other tuner messed it up. Maybe the tranny already had existing problems, which what this one did, it was like half existing problems and half of them after the other person's tune. But hopefully everything goes good for this guy, so he doesn't spend any money, because he literally just had a tune last week from the other tuner, and now he's over here trying to get it diagnosed, and it turns out it's just whatever problems it did have were tune related. Have both laptops charging. Dealer laptop right here. As you guys saw my story, I did sell some already. I did get another one in stock, so I do have another one in stock. You guys just DM me about it. I have had some people DM me. Obviously they're pretty pricey, so it's pretty honestly, it's pretty rare for somebody to buy one. But once I start teaching you guys like how to use it, like, it's just, you guys get all excited. I already had one guy started to make his money back doing only the key reprogramming. Obviously it's gonna take him a while. It just depends on how much he charges, but he could definitely make his money back, and after that everything else will be profit for him. Right now I have a guy, his car, I mean, side story, his car was tuned by somebody else out of state on a dyno day. He retuned with me about last week, I think. He retuned with me last week, and then he has another car that he got state refed. The other car, I'm not too sure. I think it was tuned by the same person. But obviously this has nothing to do with the tuner. He got state refed and he deleted the tune, but I believe it's not fully deleted because he's having problems with the state ref. They're telling him that the ECU doesn't match, and there is a number, I believe is a CVN, which I think has to do with just California, or I don't know, that's a federal or state thing for emissions. So that number is generated by the ECU. There's a lot of details on that, but that number has to match whatever's in their system, the state ref. If it doesn't match, then it will not pass the state ref. So normally that number will go back to normal if you delete the tune. which is what they're telling him. The state ref is actually well, pretty helpful as far as I know. They do tell you, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. You know, the car is tuned and you don't know. They tell you, hey, like this car is tuned. You know, just take it back, contact someone who could delete the tune and bring it back to us. So as far as I know, they're pretty helpful from what you guys have told me, which is pretty great. So on this one, they sent him the information on the email, and they're saying that the CVN does not match what they have in their system. So from what I know, which is a little bit of it, it's possible that the tune is still there somewhat, so it's still considered modified, a modified ECU. So he's gonna bring his car over today so I could check it with the dealer computer and actually do a full erase on it. So this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check before, check that number, which is the CVN. I'm write it down. I'm gonna go ahead and reflash the computer, reflash his computer. So it's gonna be 100% OEM, and then I'm gonna see if that CVN changed to a different number. If it did, then that should be the correct one. What does the number look like? I don't know. Those numbers I don't know, but I do have the wrong number, which is in the email they sent him, and it's the one currently in his ECU. So I believe as long as the number is different after I reflash it, then he should be able to pass the state ref. But luckily, they're able to accept his information over email first before he goes. So for example, he's going to send them the CVN that will appear after I flash it, and then they'll tell him, okay, that's the right one, come on down. Or if not, then they're going to tell him no, then there's something wrong. It's possible that he has a different computer in there and he doesn't know. If that doesn't work, obviously that's 100% OEM. It has to work. If it doesn't work, then that means he has a computer from like a different car or something, because that would be impossible for it to not pass their requirements because it's completely stock. All right, guys, so this is the car that they're trying to get to pass state ref. Has all the stock parts on it, ECU part number, and then CVN right there, 103BA156. I'm not sure if they're all different or whatever. They should be different. Obviously, it doesn't match what they have in their system at the state ref. So I'm gonna go ahead and reflash it 100% OEM through the dealer computer and see if that number changes